ProTeam is a program where we are trying to cast the largest net we can to find those individuals that could be the leaders, the teachers of tomorrow, before the negativity that can sometimes influence them comes into play. So we're trying to catch the leaders in our middle school program so we can see who can blossom and really grow into themselves, and they learn more about themselves and they can move on with a better understanding of who they are and what they have to bring to the world.
We started a few years ago. Of course, I knew about the program by being a part of SARE for many of years, and we knew that we had a good teacher cadet program up there, and I wanted to bring another opportunity here at Williston-Elko Middle School to help our students get prepared for the teacher cadet program. So I talked with Sarah, and we were able to get it started, and Ms. Porchin took it over, and it's been a great program ever since.
There's nothing like having a class that works together, collaborates, and talks, and has real conversations about the possibilities that we could step up to, because these kids have so much light within them that even just having random conversations with them in ProTeam about, you know, what it takes to be a good teacher or what it takes to be a good listener or a communicator. These are all things that our kids need to learn, and what better way of doing it than in a safe environment that thrives on creating future teachers.
Well, the curriculum is helping, especially build character and leadership through the lessons that Ms. Porchin is doing, and we're seeing great results from the kids just from that standpoint. Really like the character and the leadership aspect of it.
You're learning stuff like confidence, learn how to control your emotions, your manners.
ProTeam, it's really helped me. I've been in it for 2 years now, and like when we come in here, it's kind of just like the time where we can just kind of like calm down and relax and just kind of like talk about ourselves and how we can better ourselves, and we like do different lessons each day that help us to kind of better discover ourselves and what we want to do in our lives and stuff.
ProTeam is a class that we take that helps us discover more about ourselves and more about how we discover about ourselves, what types of things we want to do when we get older, or just things that help us have a more in-depth social pattern.
I love the True Colors lesson that we did.
Why?
Because I could see during the lesson I could see the true colors of others as they was explaining, and me too.
I like that you can find out something that you might not have known before you come in there about yourself. Like, we did a quiz on, like, you had to check boxes and about what kind of learner you are or whatever. And like, I was something totally different than what everybody thought I was. Everybody thought I was like talking and stuff, and I was more auditory or something like that. I didn't know that, but we find out different things, aspects about yourself that you didn't know.
One of my favorite activities we did in ProTeam was the mirror lesson. It's like we went around to every table and we wrote one thing we think is special about the other person. And I liked it because you got to discover what everybody thought about you, even though you didn't know who it was, and you got to tell what you like about the other people.
I mean, I have so many different lessons that I like, but most recently we did the I'm Special, You're Special lesson, where we talked about our disabilities and what we could do and how we are aware and how we can learn from each other and know that everyone is different, and we are embracing those differences and how they work together for a greater good.
We did one, it was called I'm Special, You're Special Too, or along those lines, and it was kind of about how disabled students, like what they go through, and we kind of did different like kind of situations where like we imitated like deaf kids and how we put headphones over their ears, and someone stood at the front of the class and started like talking to them, and then they asked them to say whatever they said back to them, and they couldn't do it because they couldn't hear and stuff, and it kind of just like opened us up to like how they felt and like how they feel and how we can better kind of just like show us how they feel and stuff. So.
I think ProTeam does an awesome job of preparing our future teachers, because it really talks about what it takes to be a teacher. It talks about those traits that all of our best teachers have that are pretty much innate within us. ProTeam just helps, find them and tweak them to where we want to get them. And it enables the kids to learn who they are and see that teaching could be a possibility for them.
I want to become a third grade teacher whenever I grow up, and we did this lesson on good and bad character traits of teachers and stuff like that, and that kind of like helps me, like, because I got my input and the rest of my classmates' input on how it really, like, on what an effective teacher is, and I want to go and I can apply that for whenever I'm a teacher.
If you plan on being a teacher, a coach, an athletics director, or something along this lines of this, I mean, it'd be good. It'd be nice for you to take that.
Why?
Cause like it helps you learn like teaching and stuff like that, working with people, kind of aspects like that.
I would kind of like to teach kind of middle school age, that level, kind of maybe 5th grade or something like that, where they're old enough to comprehend everything, but they're not too old to where they don't care about school.
Well, being in a rural district, we're going to have to start growing our own. It's getting very difficult to compete with larger districts to get teachers to come to these rural areas. So we've had a lot of talk about starting early to get students interested in education, to get them interested in becoming teachers, because we know down the road it's going to become even more difficult as the teacher shortage grows, and we see that happening. So we're hoping that as we plant these seeds, that they'll return back to our area and to the Barnwell areas, especially in these rural areas.
I'd like to spread the word about ProTeam, and I have my kids talk about ProTeam, what we do, all the activities that we do, and the conversations and the relationships we are creating in here, because I can help my students be better students. I can help them be better people, and they can help each other. And it's different being able to branch out and be in a classroom that is fully surrounded by that collaboration and the discussion, and that's where ProTeam lies, is having the chance to have those conversations.
I would tell it's a good choice. One, the teacher, she's a good teacher. 2, the lessons, once again, life learning lessons. It'll lead me in a great direction.
It really opens your eyes to the future and you kind of like learn more about you and your peers, but more or less about you. You kind of have to think and get deep, and like there's so many questions that are asked that you don't really think about like on a normal basis, and you kind of have to like when you go home and you think about it, like you don't just say, oh, we did this in class today, okay, let's forget about it. No, you go home and you think about it. You're like, what would I do in that situation, or like, am I really like that, and stuff like that. So it kind of makes you think about yourself, and you learn more about yourself by asking questions that you never would have thought to ask.
Well, as you see, hopefully what you'll see in this video is how much our kids enjoy it. This is not just a normal class, it's a class that allows students to be themselves, to grow, and to express themselves through these lessons that's provided in this curriculum. It's well worth the time to find the budget to implement this class.